I am here from HTC to show you the vast collection of phones that we've been releasing since the first of the year. In January, we released the Smart. The Smart is our first Brew MP phone. That means it's running on an OS based on Brew, but with full HTC Sense user experience. So it's got a lot of the same features that you're used to on Sense phones, like say the Hero or the HD2, but simplified. The whole idea is that this is for people who don't need a smartphone or aren't used to using smartphones and need a simplified experience. So we still have a home screen environment that's customizable that you can go around. And we have a set of applications here, including email, the browser, friend stream, that are things that people want out of a smartphone, but we've tried to simplify the experience in all cases. And this phone will be coming to Europe and Asia later this year.
Can you install additional apps?
No, it's not made to install additional apps on currently. There's no marketplace on it. And then at Mobile World Congress, we started off by announcing, let's see, the HD Mini, which we like to think of it as HD2's little brother. So let's see here. Software-wise, it has all of the same features as the HD2, but in a much smaller form factor, smaller screen, smaller everything. But still, you know, we believe that it performs just as well, and will meet, basically satisfy a lot of those people who don't want to carry around something as significant as this. There's been a lot of positive response to the HD2, but there's still some people who say, like, I don't know if I can carry something that big around in my pocket. So as you can see, it's much smaller. The HD Mini was one of the first phones to come out of our new partnership with One & Company, who originally designed the Touch Diamond. They designed this phone as well. They did a couple of things. They wanted to make sure that this phone basically always felt like a quality phone to the user, right? It's one thing to pick up a phone and say, like, oh, this feels solid. It's another thing to pick up a phone and think, not only does this feel solid, but this has visual signs that this is a solid phone, that this is a quality phone. So they went to the engineers and they said, what can we do? Can we, like, actually make the construction obvious from the outside? You know, normally when you look inside a phone, there's tons of tiny little screws putting it together. They're like, what if we took those screws and we moved them to the corners and we made them always visible? And the engineers grunted and groaned a lot, and then they came back and did it. So these screws that you see here in the corners are the screws that are holding the phone together. The other thing they said was, well, you know, when somebody takes the cover off the phone to change the SD card out or put their SIM card in or even replace the battery, why should that be an ugly thing to look at? So they've made the inside of the phone just as beautiful as the outside, and we call that hidden power.
That's also on your new Evo as well.
That's correct. That is also on the Evo. We also announced the Legend. The Legend is the successor to the Hero. You can see it harks back to the Hero in terms of its form factor, at least to the European Hero, maybe not to the Sprint one.
The chin.
It's got the chin, yes. But it's an improvement in every way. So we've upgraded to an AMOLED screen, we've upgraded the processor, we've upgraded the camera, and we've also upgraded Sense. So this is now Android 2.1 with an upgraded Sense experience. As you can see, performs much better. We've added a new way for you to navigate through the home screen because we realized it took so long for somebody to flick from one end to the other. We've added Leap, so now you can pinch and you just tap on whatever screen that you want to go to. The Legend was also designed by One & Company, and also designed with that idea of how do we give the people who use it the idea that they're using a high quality phone besides it just feeling solid. right? So it feels pretty solid. Chang's afraid I'm going to break it. I'm not afraid. The Legend is made out of a single block of aluminum that's milled down, so I can show you. This is actually what a Legend looks like with no guts inside. Right, so unibody construction that keeps it solid and that keeps it light and that also keeps it small. The Legend is significantly smaller than the Hero, even though it has a larger battery and maintains the same size screen. For people who really want this HTC Sense experience on Android but want a bigger screen, we also announced the Desire. The Desire shares the same specs as the Nexus One, which I'm sure your readers know well, right? So 3.7-inch AMOLED screen with WVGA resolution, Snapdragon processor, 5-megapixel camera with flash, all those things. Slightly different body, carries the optical trackball over from the Legend, so something that we do. Also physical buttons, not touch buttons, and in addition to having the Sense experience.